Hi, today we are going to discuss lab DHCP on an enterprise multi-layer switch. So here firstly we are going to arrange here, let me connect the device, switch, uh, this one is switch, and switch number is 3560, 3650, sorry, 3650, 3650. This is multi-layer switch, and we are going to connect 4 PC with this multi-layer switch. 1, 2, 3 and 4th, and there is one DHCP server DHCP, and now going to connect this with the help of a cable. This is 010 and it is connected to PC1, connected to, sorry, here third one I'm going to connect with, because here we are going to make a VLAN, so here we need to connect the second one on gigabit Ethernet port number 3. Similarly, third one is I'm going to connect with 5th port, and fourth one I'm going to connect with 7th number port, fourth PC with 7 number port, because we are going to connect make a 4 LAN, VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 30 and VLAN 40. And here I'm going to connect this server by using this, its name. Firstly I'm going to configure this switch. So here let me configure it. Now here click on this, now double click on this. When you will double click on this switch, multi-layer switch, then move here, it is showing that a device must be powered on. So here firstly we need to power on this device. So here this is the power supply, and power supply port, connect this port to the multi-layer switch. Now power is on for this device. Now here device is booting right now, interface G is 0 link. Now we can see it's up right now. Now would you like to enter the initial configuration dialog box? Type no. Now enable the configuration, conf t, and then I'm going to configure this PC. I'm going to configure this multi-layer switch. So here let's name, for this name is host name SW1, IP routing, and interface giga Ethernet 1/0/1, and switch port access VLAN 10, access VLAN does not exist, and now it is creating VLAN 10. Now switch port mode, access, switch port, and switch port non-negotiable, non-negotiate, and then run this command spanning tree post fast. Now exit. Similarly, I'm going to configure interface gigabit port number 2 102. It is also under VLAN 10. Switch port mode, access, VLAN 10. Now I think there is some typing mistake. VLAN 10. Now switch port mode, access, switch port non-negotiate, spanning tree port fast, and exit. Similarly, I'm going to configure port number 3. So interface giga ethernet 1/0/3, switch port, access, VLAN 20, and switch port mode, access, switch port non-negotiate, and then spanning tree port fast. Now similarly going to configure port number 4. Similarly going to configure all the ports. So here third one is VLAN 30. Now next one is interface gig ethernet. We were configured till 3. Now moving to fourth one. Fourth one also come under VLAN 20. So 104. Now switch port mode, access, VLAN 20, switch port mode, access, switch port non-negotiate, span tree port fast, exit. Similarly going to configure port number 5, interface gig ethernet 1/0/5, switch port mode, access, VLAN 30, switch port mode, access, switch port mode, switch port non-negotiate, and spanning tree port fast, exit. Similarly going to configure port number 6, interface gig ethernet 1/0/6, switch port, access, VLAN 30, switch port mode access switch port non-negotiable and spanning tree port fast. Now moving to the port number 7. So interface gig ethernet 1/0/7 description ErSolve domain and switch port access VLAN 40 switch port mode access switch port mode access and then move to the switch port non-negotiate and then spanning tree port first exit. Similarly going to configure port number 8 interface 1/0/8 description and ErSolve domain switch port mode switch port access VLAN 40 switch port mode access switch port non-negotiate and then spanning tree port fast. Now again moving to the port number 10 which is connected with DHCP server interface gig ethernet 1/0/10 description DHCP server and switch port access VLAN 100 switch port mode VLAN switch port mode access and then switch port non-negotiate and spanning tree port fast exit. Now going to configure port VLAN 10. Going to allocate the IP address. So here interface VLAN 10 description ErSolve tutor name is ErSolve tutor and VLAN and IP address 10.10.10.1 255.255.255.0 and then IP helper address that is 10.10.100.10. Now exit. Similarly going to configure VLAN 10 interface VLAN 20, and description of this VLAN is ErSolve assignment, and IP address 10.10.20.1 and 255.255.255.0. IP helper address, that is 10.10.100.10. Exit. Interface VLAN 30, description, let's ErSolve programming help, coding help, and here IP address 10.10.30.1 255.255.255.0, and IP helper address, that is 10.10.100.10. Similarly, going to configure VLAN 40. That is interface VLAN 40, and description, its name is ErSolve let's check VLAN 40 name, because we already provided some description already. This VLAN 40, let me check it. What we already provided for VLAN 40, that is its description for VLAN 40. Here non-negotiate, let me check it. Its name is ErSolve domain. Let's correct it. So here ErSolve VLAN, and IP address 10.10.40.1 255.255.255.0, and IP helper, that is 10.10.100.10. Exit. Now going to configure VLAN 100. Interface VLAN 100, and its description that is DHCP Vlan and IP address that is 10.10.100.1 255.255.255.0. Now we have configured this. Now no shutdown. Interface interface VLAN 100 description DHCP VLAN and IP address 10.10.100.1 and 255.255.255.0 and no shutdown and exit. Now we have configured this switch port. Now double click on this server. When you will double click on it, it will redirect to the server DHCP server. And now config this, and here we need to config this DHCP server, DHCP DNS server with follow. So here IP address 10.10.100.10 that we have already allocated in the switch port configuration. 10.10.100.10 that we have already configured. Now providing the subnet mask. Here go to the desktop and configure this. Your IP address is 10.10.100.10. Subnet mask is 255.255.0 and default gateway that we need to fill 10.10.100.1 10.10.100.1 and now it is configured. So save this and close. Now going to configure all the PC, build the DHCP pool on the DHCP server following diagram. So here again going to configure the DHCP server and services. You go to the services. Now double click on this server and go to the services, and here select DHCP and on this service, and here we are going to configure DHCP. Firstly server pool that is given, server pool is already configured. Now going to configure VLAN. So here VLAN 40. Firstly going to create VLAN 10. VLAN 10 10.10.10.1 and DNS server, its DNS server is 10.10.100.10 10.10.100.10 and here IP address 10.10.100.10 and for this IP address is 10.10.10.10 because it is in VLAN 10 and make it 100 maximum number of users. Let's suppose this is 100. Now add this. Similarly going to create VLAN 20 and here default gateway that is 20 and DNS server that is same for all and here we have choose VLAN 20, so going to configure this and here user is same. Now going to add. Similarly going to create VLAN 30 and here VLAN is also 30 and 10.10. And this one is also 30. Default gateway is now add this also. Similarly going to create 40 and here default gateway that is also 40 and the DNS server is same and change this and add. Now going to configure DNS and here firstly on this DNS. Now name DHCP server record A and address is 10.10.100.10 10.10.100.10 and add this. Similarly going to create means 35.351 wave and its address is 10.10.100.10. add this one also. Now going to create VLAN 10 GW and its address is 10.10.10.1. Similarly going to create VLAN 20 GW and address is 10.10.20.1. Similarly VLAN 30 GW and address is 10.10.30.1. Now we can check we have created total 3 VLANs and 1 DHCP server and 1 web configuration. Now DHCP server has been configured right now. Now we need to configure all the PC right now. Now going to configure all the PCs and we need to add DHCP and go to the desktop and IP configuration, and here use DHCP. Now we can see, wait for a moment, it will automatically fetch the IP address. Now IP address has been allocated to all the to this PC. Now I am going to do the same thing one by one for all the PC. Now going to second PC, doing the same IP configuration and DHCP. It will relocate address one by one, 10.10.20.10. Similarly for third one, IP config, and it will allocate IP address 10.10.30.10. Similarly going to configure fourth one, and here DHCP, and it assign 10.10.40.10. This is the required configuration. Now we are going to test this. Now opening any PC, let me configure this PC right now. Now go with the command prompt and enter this command ipconfig /all. Now we can see it is working fine, fast Ethernet, and this is the details of the configuration. Now checking ipconfig release command. This is the required detail. Now ipconfig release. I think there is some typing mistake. RELEASE. Now we can see the details. Now checking the ipconfig renew command. ipconfig renew. Now we can see it is also working fine. So if we will check the ping command, ping VLAN G VLAN 10 ZW, we can see it is working. Similarly going to check ping VLAN 20 ZW, it is also working fine. Now going to check ping DHCP server, configuration of this ping DHCP server, it is also working fine. Now we can see it is working fine. So all the PC and switches has been configured right now. I hope you understand the concepts and understand the configuration process. Thank you.